Hello, tonight our video is on the distributive property. This is part 2. So here we have the distributive property shown by the number 2 multiplied by a grouping, by a parenthesis. And in that grouping is x plus 6. Now, in our lesson so far, what we've been doing is we've been using the tiles to draw a picture of this. So if I have one x tile, and I have 6 of the 1 tiles, if I multiply that grouping by 2, then I'm doubling what I have. So I'll end up with another x tile, and then I'll end up with another set of 6 of the 1s. So this would be a total of 2x plus 12. But I want you to notice something. Look back up here. All right, if we just take the number 2 and we multiply it by each of the terms on the inside of the parenthesis and add those together, we will get this answer. So see what I mean? I have the number 2. If I multiply by x, that would give me 2x. And then the number 2, if I multiply by 6, will give me 12, and I'll put the plus sign between them. So this is how we can apply the distributive property without having to draw pictures of the algebra tiles. We can just multiply the number on the outside of the parenthesis by each of the terms on the inside. Okay, so let's do some practice. Here are 3 problems. So the first one, let's do this together. We have 3 times the quantity x plus 2. All right, x plus 2 is in the parentheses. So let's multiply 3 times x. That would be 3x. Write the plus sign. And now let's multiply 3 times 2. Now notice that I'm drawing arrows so that I'm making sure I multiply by both terms. So 3 times 2 is 6. So this would equal 3x plus 6. And this is why we call this the distributive property. We're distributing the 3. We're multiplying it by each term on the inside of the parenthesis. Okay, let's go ahead and let's do this one. 5 times the quantity x plus 3. What are we going to get here? Well, we're going to multiply 5 times x, so that's 5x. Put the plus sign, and now let's multiply 5 times 3. 5 times 3 is 15. Okay, so if I was to draw out all the algebra tiles, 5 groups of 1x and 3 1s, I would end up with 5 x's and 15 1s. All right, so we'll go ahead and do the last one. All right, so what'd you get? 4 times 2x is 8x, and 4 times 1 is 4. All right, now let's work the other direction. So here we're given a total grouping of 3x plus 6, and we want to rewrite this so that we have a grouping of an even amount of tiles on the inside, and then a number on the outside that we would multiply. So in other words, we want to break up the x's and the 6's into the most groups possible. All right, so this one, I'll go ahead and draw the tiles again. There are 3x tiles. And 6 1s. Now, what is the most groups of exactly the same amount of tiles that we can make? What do you think? Well, we could do 3 groups where each group has exactly 1 x tile and 2 1s. So, in effect, what we're doing is we're factoring out a 3 from 3x and a 3 from 6, and we're putting it in front of the parenthesis. Okay, so if you kind of imagine that we're taking out the 3, right? And so we're leaving the x behind. And then we're taking out the 3 from the 6. And what are we leaving behind? Well, we're leaving 2, because 3 times 2 would make 6. Okay, so it's distributing in the other direction, sort of. Instead of multiplying by each, we're really dividing each term by 3 to get it into 3 equal groups. All right, let's try these. Now, if you feel pretty good about this, you can go ahead and pause your video and then restart to see how you did. Okay, so pause your video and then we'll see the answers. All right, welcome back from pausing the video. This first one, okay, what is the most amount of groups I could make with 4x and 12 where each group has an identical amount? What do you think? Okay, well, if you said 4, you would be right. We could do 4 equal size groups. So if I take a 4 out of 4x, I'm leaving 1x behind. And if I take a 4 out of 12, in other words, a factor of 4, divide by 4, that means I'm leaving 3 ones behind, because 4 times 3 would make 12. So 4 groups of 1x plus 3. Okay, how'd you do? All right, let's see how you did on the second one. Pause your video if you haven't done it and restart to check your answer. Okay, welcome back from pausing the video. Let's see. I can't make 8 groups because I can't divide 20 into 8 equal groups. Let's see, what's another number that goes into 8 and 20? How about, well, 2 would work. I could have 2 groups of 4x and then 10 ones, but I could make more groups than 2. That's right, I can make 4 equal size groups. That would be the most I can make. So if I factor out a 4 from 8x, I'm leaving 2x behind. And if I factor a 4 out of 20, I'm leaving 5 behind. So I can make 4 equal groups of 2x tiles and 5 ones. All right, so how'd you do on that? Okay, that's all for tonight. Remember, read some books.